Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Ziploc. Um, I just want to make a video about I forgot the user's name. He made a video. He said that Wonder Woman was a joke. And now in the beginning of his video, he talked about how he doesn't know much about Wonder Woman. And then I stopped taking the video seriously. Okay, how can you judge a character and if you don't know much about that? That's the thing I always get about Wonder Woman. I don't know much about her, but she's lame. Okay, that's a stupid statement right there. Second, he brought up how William Mountain created the blood pressure test. What's wrong with that? A lot of these characters were created by weird people. Stan Lee. What does Stan Lee do nowadays? No, I'm not talking about Stan. I'm not talking down on Stan Lee, but seriously, what does he do these days? He co-created Spider-Man. Bob Kane. People always give him the credit that he created Batman. No, he co-created Batman. I always hate that stuff. That Bob Kane is, he created Batman and bullshit. Do your research. Also, you talked about how she dresses and stuff like that. She's a warrior princess, and DC writers have tried to change her costume to make it more modern. But the thing is, DC is very strict. They are very strict on Wonder Woman right now. And you should try reading some good Wonder Woman stories like Spirit of Truth, the Hikita, Gods and Mortals. What another one? Doom of Earth, League of One, Bitter Rivals, Eyes of Gorgon, the golden. I don't even remember the name, but I do have them in my collection. But try reading the Gail Simone run that's out right now. Try reading that. But then you said, I was arguing with him back and forth. Then he said, maybe I'll read them, but I'm going to read something more interesting right now. Yeah, okay. But you still want to judge the character, and yet you still don't want to read it, and you still say she's lame. Okay. Have you seen what the men in 300 wear? They're warriors. They dress like that. Wonder Woman is a warrior. I'm not giving that as a excuse for an outfit. Some artists do draw her outfit a little bit too out there. I'll give it that. But for the most part, the writers have been trying to change it up. But DC's just too strict. Now, for the people who love Batman, the guy who dresses up in a bat suit and who's a little mental and, and stuff like that. And by the way, Batman wasn't always dark and gritty like that. He used to be pretty campy. If you don't believe me, look at the old Batman show and go look at Batman Brave and the Bold. Same thing with Superman. They tried to change Superman outfit plenty of times. Didn't work. Also, the writer, like I said, the people who love Batman. What's the top selling Batman book right now? Batman and Robin, right? Written by Grant Morrison. Guess who's going to be writing Wonder Woman and come 2010? You guessed it, Grant Morrison. That's right. The writer of Batman is going to be writing Wonder Woman. Oh, and by the way, Grant Morrison said the same thing. But you know what? He says he wants to write Wonder Woman because she's a challenge. Well, look at that. The guy's getting respect from Wonder Woman, and also he writes Batman. Well, look at the irony. Just look at the irony. Okay, and also, the whole thing about I forgot what else this guy said in this video. Oh man, I forgot what else he said. He said some really off stuff. Any female comic book readers out there, try to help me out. People like Pelican Star who will subscribe to me, and people like Galactus Girl. If you guys out there feel the same way, just help me out in the video, help me out with the comments and stuff like that. But because I've read plenty of Wonder Woman stories, and she's a pretty solid character. I say next to Oracle and the Batwoman comics out right now, Detective Comics and Batwoman, and probably next to the Female Question, the new Question right now, Wonder Woman is probably one of the best written comic book characters in comics right now. Also, the Woman in Green Lantern are pretty awesome too. And that's another thing. Fanboys, I'm not gonna use that term. Comic book fans refuse to read Wonder Woman because she's a girl. Okay, but like I said, how can you read a guy who dresses up in a bat suit and a guy who's from another planet, and a guy who has spider powers? How can you read all this and a guy who has razor sharp claws and he's a bit of an asshole? How can you read them but yet you don't want to read Wonder Woman? I don't get that at all. I just do not get that. So until I'll post a link to the guy who said this. I'll go find this video. But until I see some solid information that you've read the Wonder Woman books and then you go, I still don't like the character, I'll be like, okay, that's a valid argument. Okay, you read all these stories and you still don't like the character. Okay, I can take that. But to just come out and say Wonder Woman is a joke and I don't know much about her besides she throws a lasso and the way she dresses, and she's a feminist. Okay, the whole feminist thing really hasn't been brought up in the Gail Simone run. Also, Gail Simone writes Secret Six, one of the best DC books out right now. I don't know if you know that, but yeah, she writes Secret Six, one of the best books out right now. Like I said, they've tried changing her costume, but DC just too strict. She's too much of an iconic character. But like I said, Grant Morrison is supposed to be writing Wonder Woman. And I'm one of those guys who didn't even like Grant Morrison at first until I read more of his stuff, and he's one of the best writers in comics right now. And maybe you'll give Wonder Woman a try if he writes it. Maybe that's just the push she needs. She needs a guy, because Grant Morrison has said the same thing. He said, I don't like Wonder Woman and all this stuff in an interview. But now he wants to write it because he thinks she's a challenge to write. And that's good, because Grant Morrison continues to get better. That's just my thoughts on this. Like I said, my female subscribers and viewers, if you feel the same way, please leave me a comment and make these naysayers eat their words. And and if they can't read the stories, then why even bother making a video? That's just my thoughts on the subject. You guys take it easy. Have a nice day. If you read this video, if you look at this video, the person who I'm talking about who doesn't like Wonder Woman, I'll consider your video complete crap until you read the story. So that's not a valid argument. Just saying I don't know much about the character, that's not a valid argument. So until you come up with some valid arguments, try harder, and I'll see you in the next video.